right, welcome NorCal Sports Network. Welcome to the house. Mitchell and Ness, Johnny T16, Rock Eastwood, Tribe, and it's not a kilt. Who else we got hanging out here? It's a Daniel Berry Sports Highlights.
Mitchell's out there.
Mitchell, Ness, yeah. All right, welcome everybody. It is a good win for the Giants today, a much-needed win after going 3-7 on the road trip and then coming home and dropping another last night. Now they get the win, and a couple nice things I saw today. Mason Black pitched 4 pretty good innings until the 5th. He started to
show it again. Yep.
Show it again. Elliot Ramos with, I don't know, four outstanding plays, 2 rocket throws to second base from right field, and then the sliding catch, the tough catch in left field after moving from right after the injury to Michael Conforto today with looks like a potential hamstring. We haven't got word yet on if he'll be on the IL, going on the IL, but that's generally a sign, hamstring. You don't want to mess with those things. And then we had the great throw from Yaz. The Reds had 3 players, not 1, not 2, but 3. They lost a whole inning today to guys getting thrown out at second base.
Yeah,
and
crazy.
And the one that was the bad one was the worst one was the one, when Yaz threw him out, because you had first and third with 1 out.
Exactly. I don't know what Fraley was doing.
I mean, stays at first. He could have stole second.
I mean, if Fraley saw what happened to Benson, then he should have known. You know what I'm saying? Because Benson got thrown out.
Well, in the situation, you were down 4-1.
Yeah, they're aggressive. They're an aggressive team.
Yeah, but you got to know the situation. You got to know it's, hey, look, I take the first and third. I can easily steal second base. They're probably not going to even make an attempt on it. So, I mean, they haven't most of the year. What else did I see that I liked? Oh, Matt Chapman hit the grand slam. You got to give it up for him. I mean, we've been dogging the dude all year, rightfully so. So he hits a grand slam, and it was a total mistake by Lodolo. But you got to capitalize on mistakes, because that's what you got to do when a pitcher makes a mistake in your wheelhouse. He threw was it 1-2 pitch or 0-2?
Oh, I don't even know what the count was, to be honest with you.
I know it was at least nothing worse than 1-2, but it was a mistake. He went middle, tried to sneak a fastball on him when he had got him down in the count with a couple of changeups. So that was just, you really think about that. Somebody's got a comment in here. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Was it Fool's Gold, or was it something along that line? Let me see if I can find it. I think it was Kilt. Hold on here. I'm digging through here. Lipstick on a Pig. That's what it was. Just 6 damn hits. They still can't get anything going. No, they really didn't. If that ball was just a fly ball to the track, that's Giants maybe don't even, they get the 1 run late in the, 7th inning, 8th inning, whatever it was, 7th.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Giants are still, we talked about this, they're not putting together rallies like the Rockies did on Thursday with hit, boom, 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 boom. That was a couple of walks, I think, in there, maybe a hit, and then the grand slam. That was it. So,
Brian wants to know what happened to Conforto. Well, he got a hit. He rounded the bag at first, and that's when he came up limp, grabbed his right leg. So probably a hamstring bit him or something when he had to stop around in the bag.
I was listening to the broadcast, and I don't know if you guys heard this, but we know they're like, I guess they're now 11-0 when they score 5 runs or more.
Yeah, I heard that.
But they're also, I think, was it 15? I don't know what it was, or 15-0 or something. When they're leading after 7.
Correct.
So that That's pretty encouraging just because I don't think this offense is going to be this bad the entire year. I think it's bound to pick up a little bit. I still don't think this is a good offense. I think it's an average offense at best. But if it's an average offense, I think you can live with that because right now this is a below average offense, averaging what 3 runs a game.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, if this offense can average about 5 runs a game, 4 to 5 runs a game,
That you're asking.
I mean, you're asking a little bit, but I mean, they should be able to average 4 to 5 runs a game. And if the offense can average 4 to 5 runs a game, you have a shot in every game. You already have a shot in every game just because of your pitching, and the bullpen seems to be coming around a little more. The late inning guys are being a little more solidified. And I think the offense will improve. It's just a matter of how much will it improve. Because I mean, right now, the first month of the season, you didn't have any injuries at all.
Can it get any worse? I don't think so.
I don't think it can get any worse. But I mean, right now you're seeing some injuries. Ahmed's down, Solaire's down, Lee's down, Conforto just went down, Slater's down, Murphy's down. So I mean, they've had a lot of injuries in the past
like
week.
10 days.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a testament to see how they can bounce back. If Conforto goes on the IL, I'd assume it's Matos, right? That would get the call.
Yeah, I would think. I would think so. Boy.
What other outfielder out there is doing anything in AAA?
Nothing really.
Nobody.
Right? I mean, they brought up Wisely. Can he play?
They
the
brought
outfield?
up.
He can play
they had
center.
him
Yeah, he
playing
can
there
play
if
out.
he can.
I mean, Conforto's probably the biggest loss so far.
He is, because he's been having a pretty good year.
Yeah, his bat's been heating up too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, man, it's Brian. Man, who would have thought guys 30 or older would get injured during 162 games? Wow, shocker.
Yep.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
How much of the roster? Let's see. Left field, Conforto, he's over 30. Center field, Lee, he's under 30. Yastrzemski's over 30. Flores
Ahmed's
is over
over
30. Ahmed's over 30. Chapman's over 30. Slater's over 30. The majority of the team is over 30. And I just don't get I mean, this was bound to happen. It was sooner or later, injuries were going to pile up. You knew this was going to happen because, I mean, it's just not sustainable. You knew that majority of these guys weren't going to play a full season, and it's starting. And this is I don't know who was talking. I think it was Los on Twitter. But he was saying these guys are being called up because of injuries, not on merit, and it's the same thing that happened last season.
Yeah, we're tired of it. I'm tired.
We're tired of it. If you just bring these guys up and play them just because they're good enough to play. Ramos was called up because someone got injured, but he was getting to that point where you might have had to make a move just to get him on the big league club. That's probably the only guy, aside from Matos maybe last year, that was really raking in AAA and that deserved a call up. Schmidt hadn't been, his last like 15 games in AAA has been really good, but his overall numbers throughout the year weren't great. Luciano isn't having a great season. He's having a decent season in AAA. But I mean, right now you're just not seeing it from the farm, and we like all these guys. We want these guys to be able to be successful in the big leagues. But I mean, if they're not raking in AAA, then I mean, you can't expect much in the big club.
Right. Let me see if I can guess this. Can we guess this? Who's the oldest team in the big leagues? It's gotta be.
I got an idea.
Could it be the Dodgers?
Well,
that's what I was thinking. There's three teams I'm thinking of: Dodgers, Yankees, or the Cardinals.
I mean, you got Freeman's over pretty old. Betts is getting up there. And
Muncy's up there.
Taylor,
Kershaw, even though he's on the DL or IL.
I mean, even Ohtani's. We count him. He's up close to 30.
Yeah, I think he's 30.
Close. Dodgers, yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah. There we go. That was
what I was kind of leaning toward. And thinking who else could be. But yeah, interesting that the Dodgers are that old. The Giants, I mean, Freeman and Betts played almost all 162 though last
Yeah,
year.
they don't get injured.
Can
Did you
they
notice?
can they keep it up? Or I mean,
I don't ever remember hearing Freeman or Betts ever going down for long periods of time.
they
No.
didn't. They haven't. I mean, it
haven't.
might.
I'm talking about
catch
in the
up
past, not just last year.
Yeah, it might catch up to them at some point. I don't know.
I
but
think it'll catch up at some point, but I mean, those guys are athletic and they can play.
They probably take care of their bodies.
Nick says farm
definitely take
system
care
is a
of their bodies.
disaster and no one is talking about it. Is he talking about San Francisco's farm
Yeah,
system?
that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it does appear that it looks like it may be difficult for Ramos, Matos, and Schmidt to maintain hitting. I don't know what the philosophy is, but I sure like the way, and Los texted me on this, Tyro going the other way today with the hit.
That was situational hitting. That was
Yeah,
situational hitting. That was a
know,
great piece of hitting. There was a runner on first. Your job is to move him over. The whole right side of the infield is vacated. Just put it there. Don't try to power swing. Just
Yeah,
put it on
and
the
I
right
don't know
side
why.
and get
I mean,
results.
Casey looks like he's trying to kill things. He's chasing balls again up high, out of the zone. He's going to have to. He's probably pressing, trying to make an impression.
Yeah, of course.
Probably.
His defense at short is really nice, though. And
his defense, boy, his arm too is nice.
His arm is awesome. Yeah,
nice to see a cannon.
I think what I'm sensing is going to happen for the rest of the season, or this is what I'd like to happen for the rest of the season. Realistically, of course, I would like Luciano and everybody up. What I would like to see is Casey Schmidt take over the job at short. Let Ahmed be your late inning. I mean, you don't if Casey Schmidt's your shortstop, do you even need a defensive replacement at shortstop?
No.
You
don't Ahmed, even need Ahmed at that point.
You can DFA Ahmed. He might get picked up, but I would like to see an infield of Chapman, Schmidt, Estrada, and Wade.
If the Ahmed got DFA'd, there's one team I think that would scoop him up.
The Dodgers, right?
Dodgers.
Yep. Because then they can move Mookie back to the outfield, and they would have that. But I would like to see Casey be the long-term shortstop, just because I think this team values defense because they have a lot of sinker ballers. They have Webb, they have Hicks, they have Black who throws sinkers. Cobb throws sinkers, so they have a lot of sinker ballers, and they value the defense. I just don't know if they value Luciano as a good defensive shortstop. I think it's kind of obvious with Schmidt getting the call up and not Luciano. He just needs to develop a little more. I'm fine with letting Luciano play away in AAA, play every day in AAA, get some consistency, play a full season, and then go into next year as, I don't know, an outfielder or whatever. But I'd like to see an outfield of Ramos, Lee, and Matos. I mean, Ramos has a cannon. He has a cannon, and he showed it off today. I think with Ramos's performance today, and I was talking to you guys before the show, I think that solidified him on the team over Slater, just because Slater hadn't been bringing you anything offensively. He's a decent defender, but with Ramos like having probably his best game as a defender, and maybe the best game as a Giant has had as a defender this year. I think he is that fourth outfielder right now behind Lee, Yaz, and Conforto. I think if Conforto goes down, or if Conforto gets option, or if Conforto goes on the IL, then he's going to start in right or left field. And then there's, I guess Yaz would start in right field. But I think the problem is you have Yaz, who's playing decently right now, but he's 33,
good outfield.
Right? He's a pretty good outfielder. He's also 33, and the past couple years he's gotten injured. So I don't know if you can rely on Yaz to play a full season. Maybe he can. Maybe we're all wrong and Yaz has a full season in him. But can you rely on Yaz to carry your right fielder spot, offensively and defensively? I don't know. Which is the problem because I can understand why they want Yaz on the team. He's a nice leader. He's a veteran. He plays really good right field. He's probably a Gold Glove caliber defender in right field. But with his injury history and with the young kids, it's just super hard for the young kids to get consistent at bats, and for even Yaz to get consistent at bats because they've gone back to the platoon. We've said it a million times. It's a full-on platoon in right field. And I mean, before the season had started, they're like, oh yeah, Yaz is going to be our everyday right fielder. He's going to be out there every day, which was, in my opinion, such an idiotic thing to do just because he doesn't hit lefties as great as he used to. And he's injury prone. He's older. So there's no reason for Yaz to be the everyday right fielder. It just,
I don't think he is.
Sense.
If Conforto's down and they're facing a lefty and Matos is up, I think it's Ramos in right, Matos in left, and Lee in center. Maybe even they go with Fitzgerald in the center if they want.
But would you want that though? Like, would you want Lee or would you want Matos and Ramos to be your 4th and 5th outfielders and get playing time 2 to 3 times a week?
No, I want them playing.
No, exactly. But I mean, when Conforto comes back, Conforto's going to be your left fielder.
Right.
I mean,
I'd make Ramos my right fielder and make Yaz my 4th outfielder.
Exactly. But Ramos would also be splitting time with Yaz. So he'd be playing, what, 2 to 3 times a week?
Whenever there's a lefty, that's the problem.
Exactly. And that's the problem because there's more righties than lefties.
Right.
And I would rather have these young guys get consistent at-bats rather than the at-bats being spread out.
Hey, the plan is working. Farhan refused to bring guys up, and baseball karma is hitting the Giants. And Ahmed went down, and they lost. Who was the outfielder that went down? Slater. Ramos is here. Schmidt's here. Looks like Matos may be here. We just need Chapman to go down next and move Schmidt over to 3rd and Luciano to short. And there's one other one that's missing, isn't it? Or is that it? That would be that would be it. That would be it. And Yaz maybe has to go down and let's see these guys play extended period of time and see what they got for a couple of months and see what they can do. You might see this team completely flounder. You might see some rejuvenation like what you saw today with Ramos kind of ignited the team. You see the pumped up pitching, the guys in the field when they saw Ramos making that one sliding catch and then nailing guys at second base. That's what I'm talking about. That's not just happening. That's young guys that have talent.
It's bringing a spark.
I'm going to tell you something right now. Don't underestimate the power of Yaz and Slater. Because do you think let's be honest here, does this organization have the courage to make those moves this early? I don't think they do.
Not with Yaz, but maybe
Slater.
Yes. You know what they're going to say about the whole with Ramos and Yaz? Yaz could have done that same thing what Ramos did because he's got an excellent arm. Where Ramos needs to excel is going to have to be at the plate. Because that's the issue with Yaz, right? His defense is fantastic. He could have done those same exact throws to second base that Ramos did.
In order for Ramos to overtake Yaz, he has to be great offensively and defensively.
Yes.
I completely believe he's over the depth chart with Slater right now. I think Slater's pretty much guaranteed to be off the team unless there's another injury. I think Ramos is that 4th outfielder, or right now he's that 3rd outfielder. With Conforto healthy, he's that 4th outfielder.
Yeah, Bub Rabb says watching Chapman play 3rd is great. He plays excellent 3rd base. I mean, he's got like a vacuum for a glove. Yes, he's made 6 errors. He had a couple bad throws, and he's missed a couple balls. I'm not going to harp on that because that's going to happen. And it just happened in a bunch, kind of a quick period of time. He's got a great glove, but my whole point is you didn't really need a Chapman. Now, if Chapman could ever figure out some adjustments and start driving the ball, and if Chapman can hit you, here's where Chapman becomes valuable. If he can reach close to 250, between 240 and 250, his lifetime batting average is 240. If he could surpass the 240 and hit 246, 247, and hit 23 to 26 home runs and drive in 75 runs and play solid defense and get his OPS back up. His OPS plus has been above 100 most of his career. If he could get an OPS plus of north of 100, then Chapman has value. But if he's going to hit 218 to 222, strike out 160 plus times, and only drive in like 55 to 60 runs and have maybe 18 to 21 homers, I'm sorry, that's not going to cut it. He's got to perform above his major league, or at least his major league average at minimum, because he's getting paid to be a star on this team. He's getting paid more than him, and Jung-Hoo Lee are getting paid more than anybody out on the field, not including pitchers. Okay. I know Lee's numbers are not 19 million this year, but he's going to average 19 million over his 6 years. It's lower, but Chapman was brought in as the veteran to stabilize the team, correct?
Mm-hmm.
That's what he was brought into.
Mm-hmm.
He's been nothing close to being stabilizing. It's talk about stabilizing. It's more like destabilizing the team. And
today was probably his best game of the season so far, right?
Yeah. And Richard says, Chapman is signed for 3 years. Yeah, it's a 3 1-year deals. He can opt in after each year. You actually want Matt Chapman to have games like this today more consistently. Why? Because if Matt Chapman can hit what I just described, 246 to 247 range, drive in 75 runs, play stellar defense, and hit 23 to 26 home runs, whatever range I said in that area, he'll opt out. And you know what? He'll opt out and he'll make the Giants better. It's a win-win. It's a win-win if he does that.
There's Nick with the super chat.
If he doesn't have that type of year, which I don't think he will, I've said it, I think Giants are stuck with him. What am I wrong with, Michael?
Well, he says what it is. Nick, $5. Thank you, sir. Eye-opening. San Diego emptied the farm for Soto. Now already have more prospects than us in 2 freaking years. What do you mean by more prospects? Are you talking about higher rated prospects? I'm guessing that's what you mean, right? Higher rated. Good thing we coughed up picks for Chapman. Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like giving up those picks.
The thing with Chapman that really discourages me is his whole career, he hasn't been the best hitter on his team. He's been like the second, third, fourth best hitter. In Oakland, he had Marcus Semien and Matt Olson to help him. In Toronto, he had Bo Bichette, George Springer, Vlad Guerrero. He's had these guys surrounding him.
It's the same thing with Soler. He's in the same boat.
Exactly. They're counting on everyone to be productive. And if 1 or 2 guys don't have a productive season, then it's just these guys can't carry a team by themselves. They have to be propped up with other people.
Yes.
And I mean, someone's gonna get injured, and someone's gonna have a little slump. And when that happens, you need to count on other guys to pick up the slack. And I just don't know that this team has the personnel to be able to pick up that slack. And that's what you're seeing right now. That is exactly what you're seeing right now. Pretty much, I mean, Chapman's in a slump, Solaire's in a slump and is injured.
I still don't think Solaire's injured. I think they just did that to get him not rest, but to work on
no,
something.
he's a little injured because they didn't let him swing for a week.
Really?
Well, his shoulder, yeah. He kept trying to work it out, and then
fair enough.
it was not working out. By the way, nothing official yet on Matos coming up.
I haven't seen anything on Pat. Have you seen anything on Conforto?
Nothing official, but Glenn has picked up Luis Matos.
Oh my God, I saw that. Yeah.
No, Glenn has picked up Luis Matos in the.
He always does that, man. When we start talking about that, all of a sudden
Matos was pulled from the AAA lineup.
Was he? Well, there you go.
Yeah, he got hit.
He's on his way to San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Got to catch. It's what time in Salt Lake City? 8:30. Is there a late flight tonight?
No, I'm sure there is.
Gonna have to find.
Dan,
do you think he's in the lineup tomorrow?
Okay, real quick, Dan, step away from the phone. No breaking news, please. Please, Dan, no breaking news.
Oh.
No breaking news. No,
I'm not tweeting. I'm tweeting nothing, man.
Yeah, stay away from that for a little while. And Nick with another $5. Damn, dude. San Diego farm system, after trading depth for Cease and Arias, is still miles ahead of ours. All of our notable hitting prospects are having terrible seasons.
I mean, it's a great point. I mean, Matos isn't having a great year in AAA. Luciano isn't having a great year in AAA. None of the AA guys are hitting. I mean, that
AA is bad.
AA is, and that's a testament. That's Farhan's draft. AA is where, I mean, that's what, 2019, 2020, around that time.
Yeah,
they're doing nothing. Single A, who's in single A? Eldridge.
Eldridge is in low A. Who's in high A? Oh, who are they? Oh, wait, there's like that Cox kid.
I like Jonah Cox. I really like Jonah Cox.
There's another kid in San Jose that's supposed to be ripping it too. What was his name? I can't remember. They were mentioning in the chat a couple of days ago. I can't remember. There's someone else though. Is it a Rogers? Is that
something like that? But let me go in on Cox for a second.
I heard he's a hitting machine.
He is super fast. He is a blazer. They got him in the Stripling trade. I'll give Farhan credit for that. That was a good get. But I watched Cox at Oral Roberts in the college baseball playoffs last year against Oregon, and he's a natural center fielder. He has blazing speed. He's a great defender. He has great bat to ball skills.
Interesting.
I like him a lot. I don't know. Is he going to be like your all-star center fielder? Probably not. But I think he could be a good piece. I think that was a really good get for Stripling, at least.
It's so frustrating though, because we always talk about this and then there's never any fruition to the big club ever. And, we'll see what happens. Hopefully Ramos and Schmidt can change it. Bailey, he's showing something, which is nice. But as far as position players, man, it's been a while, hasn't it? Really?
No, it is.
Yeah.
He's 22 in low A. He's going to get a promotion soon. He's going to be in high A, and he might be in double A by the end of the year. Eldridge, I think, is going to be really good. He's just off to a slow start. He's still like 19. So he has.
And here's the thing: the Giants are now in unless they go free agency again next year, they're gonna have to get corner outfielders. Lee's locked up center field for the next, at the minimum, 4 years. Conforto will probably be gone next year.
Will probably be gone.
Will probably be. Well, you never know, but would probably be gone. So you got to have two corner infielders who can, do something at the big league level. And if they don't, they're going to be in some rough shape next year.
I agree.
Like I said, unless they go free agency again, and maybe Farhan does the whole 1 year opt out for some free agent outfielder next year. Wouldn't be surprised. And no,
I don't think he's around next year.
Soto. Oh yeah,
You
No,
can't.
yeah,
you can't.
he's not.
You can't keep this up. You can't keep this 1 year opt out crap up. It's just.
The thing with Soto is he would fit on this team perfectly. He
Ain't
could
happening,
play.
man.
I mean, it's never gonna happen. But just, I mean, think about it. He's probably one of the like 3 best hitters in baseball, and he plays a fine outfield. He's not great. He's not bad. He's actually having a really good year in the outfield this year. He could play an easy left field. And I mean, the one thing missing from this team is offense. That is the one thing missing from this team. They have a good rotation. They have a decent bullpen. I mean, forget like the stats of the ERA. If they score more than 5
ERA is
runs, they're
bad, dude.
undefeated. If they score more than 5 runs this year, they're undefeated.
But honestly, when's the last time the Giants have ever averaged 5 runs a season?
No, that's the problem. If they can get a good offense, then they could be a really good team. It's just a question of where's that offense going to come from? Because I'll tell you what I've seen. I've seen a difference in Schmidt's approach, in Ramos's approach, in Sable's approach than the Major League Club. The Major League Club takes a lot of pitches for strikes.
Mhm.
When these guys are getting called up, they're swinging. They are swinging the bat. They're looking to hit. They're not looking to draw walks. They are looking to hit.
You're trying.
I don't know if that's like a Justin Veal problem. I don't know why he's still here.
Maybe they're just amped up. They want to show that they belong.
I don't know. It might be that, or it might just be like a different philosophy between AAA and the majors. Maybe these young guys are just swinging. They're free swingers, and the major league hitting coaches, Veal and who's the other coach?
Oh, Burrell.
Pat Burrell.
I think that's an issue, and that's been highlighted. They don't swing at strikes. They just don't swing at strikes. And I think that's a difference that you can see with your eyes from the minor leaguers.
Correct.
Going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting how this all plays out here with all these injuries. Again, I keep refreshing to see if anything is new with Alex, and he's not saying anything about Conforto. I don't know if anyone else is talking about it out there.
I mean, I can just see it. It's going to be the same thing as last season, because last season they had injuries. They called up the young kids to supplement the injuries, and then when the guys got healthy, they just sent them back down.
Yeah.
Yep. And
it's just gonna it's a route.
If that happens again, it's just like, you know what? Just forget it, because just, you're losing the base. You're losing people who really, really are into following the Giants.
There's a lot of disgruntled people out there, that's for sure. Tyler Wise guy with $5 said the best thing that could happen this year is the Giants lose and get a top 5. See, the problem is there's no guarantee. Is there?
Well, if
there's
you
a lottery, right?
If you have, there is. But if you can get if you lose a lot and you have a better shot. But if they can get a top 5 pick, have you seen that kid from Georgia?
What's his name? Cowder?
Something. He's just
Condor.
Condor.
Yeah.
He's just smacking. He's got like 34 home runs or something like that.
Something like that.
Set an NC2A record.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Giants, the Giants' success at these picks, man.
Are you hearing the snoring there?
No, I can't hear it.
Oh, okay, cool.
It is, you had Joey Bart as the second pick, didn't really pan out. Wasn't Bednar a first-round pick?
I hated that pick when it happened.
Yeah. There you go. Injured. Now I hear it.
I got the mic right on it, right on her mouth, right next to it.
That's the new stuff, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I picked up face
half sister.
Half sister. Yeah, who looks right now looking more closer to a pig than a dog.
Brian says more will be known when Conforto has an MRI. Ooh, see, I haven't heard about him getting an MRI tomorrow. If you're going to get an MRI, it's more than just a cramp.
Well, it's more than a little more than a strain.
Yeah.
They may be checking the severity of what grade it is. If it's a grade, you're hoping for a grade 1. If it's a grade 2, it's probably 6 weeks. I mean, Trey Turner went out. You saw Trey Turner fly home against
Yep.
the Giants from second base on the pass ball. He's out 6 weeks just
Yep.
because of that particular play.
Yep.
If Conforto's out for 6 weeks,
Didn't Conforto have a hammy last year? He did. Last year he did have a
yeah,
hammy.
if it's the
remember
same
that.
one, that's tough because
Remember, he was running down a fly ball and it
yeah,
locked up on him. I remember that.
yeah, hammies can tend to, especially if it's cooler weather, your muscles tend to tighten up. And if you're, I mean, I like what the kid Black's doing. He's working out, stretching in the dugout in between innings, staying loose.
Staying loose, yeah.
I don't understand these athletes that just go take a seat. They stretch the beginning of the game. They run their little, sprints and get loosened up and stretch. When I played football, we used to stretch for a lot, 15 minutes before the game. And then halftime, you went back out and you stretched again because you're sitting for so long. Baseball players, you don't have to stretch a lot, but just a little bit in the dugouts in between innings to keep your muscles long. You get those muscles, they shorten up and you start running after, when did he do it? Running around the base, right?
Yep.
A little exertion.
And it's all the outfielders that have problems with their hammies. Look at Safi. What's up, Safi? Haven't seen you in a while. Says, Dan, hear me out. I think you could get Paredes from Rays for Mason Black, centered package. Black is a third pitch away from being a serviceable fifth starter. That arm angle is legit.
Yeah.
He also goes on to say, I think Keaton Wynn can get you Encarnacion Strand. You were talking about that yesterday.
Oh, yeah. I would make those trades in a heartbeat, both of them.
Yep.
I like Mason Black, but it's obvious once he reaches, he was just gassed out in the fifth inning.
Well, they haven't stretched him out at all.
Exactly, and that's an organizational problem. It really is. These guys are being pitched like they are the most delicate human beings on earth. They're major league pitchers.
Look how big he is. He looks like Matt Cain. The guy, he should be a workhorse, Mason Black.
Exactly. I mean, these guys should be able to throw 90 pitches in AAA. They should be able to go.
Yeah.
They should be able to go 90 pitches no matter what. What is the philosophy with? Oh, we're gonna go 50 pitches until you hit AAA. I just don't get that.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, Ron Raquel.
I was going to talk about that. Thanks for reminding me, Ron. He texted
Today's
me
the day the Giants trade Willie Mays to the New York Mets.
Yeah, for Charlie Williams. I remember that deal.
It wasn't about the person. It was about.
It was the $100,000.
It was about the money.
No, the Giants were. Horace Stoneham was going broke.
Yes.
And the Mets owner, it was a lady. She was the wife of the late somebody.
The owner or something like that, right?
Yeah, and
always loved Willie Mays.
Yeah, and they gave the Giants $100,000 and Charlie Williams $100,000. Imagine that.
Mm-hmm.
Giants are probably getting $100,000 for some of these guys like Dalton Jeffries. Whatever. So come on, man! Wow. But yeah, that was a rough day. That was
1972, right?
72.
Yeah, 72, right?
71, they won the division. Or was it 73? I think it was 73. Pretty sure it was 73. Because the Mets went to the World Series that year. Didn't they? Wasn't it the same year? Yeah. The Mets ended up going to the World Series 73 and lost to the A's.
The A's. Yeah.
In was that a 7? I'm trying to remember that.
That's with the iconic picture of Willie Mays at home plate.
Saying safe.
No, he's going like this. Yeah. He was he was doing this, but it looked like he was doing this.
Who was that was running? He was telling him to get down or something, right? Mays. He was safe, I think, at the plate, but we didn't have instant replay. Where was the talk? Somebody said something about, where was it? Okay. Oh, yeah. Minor leagues. Getting back to that thought, Bora. Is it the minor leagues to develop you? I always thought in little league minor leagues is to develop you for the major leagues.
Exactly.
So why are the Giants not developing guys ready to be in the majors? They're treating them like they're already in the majors coming off of rehab.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah, they're handling them with like bubble wrap.
Yeah, exactly. This
is professional sports. Injuries are going to happen, right?
Thank you, Eric. This is professional sports. I am so tired of seeing everybody say, "Oh, he went 5 pitches over his pitch limit. Oh, why is he throwing? Why is Bob Melvin throwing him out there for 40 pitches? These guys are major league pitchers.
Yep.
I mean,
Exactly.
if you're available, you should be able to pitch. It's as simple as that. You shouldn't be put on bubble wrap to pitch 10 pitches, 15 pitches a game. And
I like that bubble wrap.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, if you think about it, it's like don't get me wrong. I understand you invest a lot of money in these guys, but that's your problem, right? This is sports. Injuries happen. That's just part of.
I'm surprised Black hasn't got rocked a little more. I'm agreeing with Nick. He didn't.
I agree with him too.
Yeah, call me negative all you want. I'm not impressed with Black. He tops out at 90. I was told 92 to 96 last year. Breaking ball is lazy. Can't strike anyone out. Back end starter at best, in my view, guys. Yeah, I don't see anything special. I'm shocked that the Reds only got 1 run, but the Reds can't score this year either. They're 30th in hitting.
Black has. I mean, he's a little bit like Logan Webb, right? He has the sinker and he has the four seam that he can tunnel with that. But he topped out at like 94 today, and in the 5th inning, there was like a 3-0 count, and he threw an 89-mile-an-hour fastball down the middle.
Right.
That's not that impressive to me. Maybe he can dig deeper a little bit, and I don't find something in the offseason, go to Driveline or something. But he doesn't. Yeah, I mean he has a little bit of that Kyle Harrison-esque where he doesn't throw too hard, but he has good extension and deception exactly. But I mean, he's a back end of the rotation guy. He's not a for 1, 2, or 3.
Right.
And you have Wisenhunt in AAA. You have Birdsong in AA, right?
Right. Birdsong looks pretty good.
Birdsong looks great. I think Birdsong is going to get the call to AAA in the next month or 2. So you're going to have to trade one of these guys. It's going to happen. One of these guys is going to get traded, and you should trade him for a hitter. Because you've proven that you can develop pitching. That's the one thing you've proven that you can do. Yeah. You can develop pitching. You can't develop hitting. So what do? You trade your pitchers away, and you trade for major league hitters, or highly touted prospects who can hit. And it's not a rip. It's just some organizations do better things than other organizations. Some organizations develop hitting, some organizations develop pitching, and you just have to play to your strengths. You have to trade away these pitchers. You have to trade for hitters.
You guys see that up there on the screen?
Yep.
See how Chapman was able to get full extension right into where the ball, where his swing path is right there. That's his swing path. That's his sweet spot.
Lone in.
Yep. You throw it anywhere. That pitch was, I believe, wasn't it pretty much middle, Eric?
It was like right down the middle.
Yeah. So you got to keep it away from there. You hit the corners on Chapman, you go up high, and then he can turn on an inside pitch. But if you throw him up, keep it above the letters, he'll chase a lot. And if you get him with 2 strikes, you definitely can throw him off speed pitch and just out of the zone. He's not going to hit it with any authority at all. But I wanted to show you that because I saw that on there. Paul Skeens, by the way, with the Pirates, made his debut today.
Yeah, how about that, man?
And
he got cut short because of weather, though, right, or something?
Let's see.
He went 4 1/3 or something.
Yeah.
He here's the thing. I was watching that game a little bit. He looked pretty good. He topped out at like 102. He was a little wild, but he got through 4, and then in the 5th inning, there were 2 runners on, and I think 1 guy out.
I think he only went 4. They must have.
Yeah.
He went 4+. It was 4+. So he went into the 5th inning. 2 runners got on, and they brought in the bullpen guy, and he walked 3 in a row, or he hit the first guy, then he walked the next 2 on 8 pitches.
But it gets charged to Skeens because
exactly it gets charged to Skeens and everything. So
and that guy only went 2/3 of an inning. That was Nichols, and he gave up 4 runs, 4 earned, plus the runs of Skeens. So the Cubs ended up getting 7 in the 5th, 3 to Skeens. He was shutting them down all the way until the 4th inning. They got 1 run. So yeah, it was or 2 of those runs in the 5th went to Skeens. Yeah. So he only gave up 3 earned runs, 7 Ks, gave up a homer, walked 2, but 84 pitches, 54 strikes. Yeah. So I think the Giants are going to see him in a week and a half or so when they end up going to Pittsburgh. But yeah, it shall be interesting tomorrow, because tomorrow the Giants are throwing
Hicks, right?
Harrison.
Oh, Harrison, my bad. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, did we get this super chat by Nick?
No, not yet.
No.
So Giants' most impressive arm was undrafted free agent signed last year, Trent Harris, 94-97 with a hammer curve. Of course, the dopes keep him in low A, wasting his time with teenage hitters at age 20. Oh, geez, he's 24. Gosh, that's the kind of guy. Pitching, you move fast. You can move from A ball to triple A. I mean, last year, Orion Kerkering of the Phillies moved from A ball all the way up to the playoff roster.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Same in 21 with Kerwin Castro. Kerwin Castro with the Giants. He might have been in double A, I'm not sure, but I think he might have started in high A, made his moves up the chain. Pitching is, if you got good stuff.
Do you think we see Reggie Crawford this year?
I think we could. I think we could in late summer.
Because I'm pulling up his stats right now in double A. He has a 4.6 ERA, but he has 19 strikeouts in 9 innings. So he has Is he going to be a full-time reliever when he gets up, or is he still going to be projected?
Who
as
knows?
a starter?
They're babying him too. You know what they're doing with him, Bora?
What?
They're putting him in the bullpen, but treating him as a starter. They only let him pitch every 5th day. That's why
he only pitches at a max 2 innings.
Is your what was he, 2022? He was your first round pick?
Yeah.
Is your first round pick really going to be a bullpen guy?
I sure hope not.
I mean, come on.
If that's the I don't know what the plan is with him. I think they're trying to treat him like a starter and work him bullpen so he gets used to it, and then build him up, and then maybe later on he will pitch every 4th, 5th game and go 3 or 4 innings, and then hopefully get him up to 5. You got to get these guys up to the point where their arm strengths are built up to 75, 80 pitches by June.
Exactly.
And you should be able to stretch a guy after that to 95 pitches.
Because when Harrison got called up last year, what was his max?
I think the most he went in, it was 75 pitches.
Yeah, I mean, come on, really?
He had the one game against the home game. Was that against the Phillies where he?
It was the Reds.
No,
it was the Reds.
Reds.
It was the Reds.
The Reds.
I remember it was, okay, and he pitched like into the 7th or 8th inning.
Yeah,
he did. That was his best game, and I don't know.
And then he was kind of worn out after that. Didn't they say he was kind of?
I think so. Yeah.
And it's the same thing with Cobb when Cobb went for the no-hitter. He hasn't been the same.
How many pitches did he throw then? Like 120? 10,
112, some between 110 and 120. I don't know, but he hasn't been at all the same. So
I'm
see.
hearing so many of these like radio guys and national reporters and YouTubers talking about how, oh, Cobb and Ray are going to be back. There's no guarantee that these guys are going to be back. I mean, Alex Cobb was scheduled to probably be back by now, earlier in the season.
Oh yeah, he was.
Hell, they were talking about him starting the season on the team. Even
exactly. And then he's been on the IL with shoulder and elbow injuries, which isn't good because he's definitely been compensating for that hip, which is something you don't want to see. I mean, Ray is coming back from Tommy John. That's a serious injury. That can be a career-ending injury.
Almost exactly a year ago.
Exactly.
So you can't.
Walker Buehler just took 20 months to come back,
something
right?
Like that, yeah.
I mean, there's no guarantee that these guys are going to be back. And I mean,
is this Ray's first TJ or is it his second? Because I know a lot of people are. This is like their second. How many Tommy Johns has he had?
I think it's his fourth.
I think it's his fourth. Because what is it? I know Logan Webb. He's had one.
Yeah, he's had Tommy John
almost a decade ago, something like that.
Yeah, I'll tell you the velocity and the. Do you think Tommy John is up since Spider Tack was taken away?
Yes, I think
honestly, I don't know.
What hasn't who's talked about that? Glasnow didn't
Glasnow he had Tommy John after, because he was trying to make up for not using that stuff.
Exactly. It's interesting because I mean, we've had this conversation before, but I mean, and it's an endless hole of possibilities when it comes to Tommy John. Like, is throwing harder, throwing more often at a young age, whatever it is. Like, I had a friend who had Tommy John his like sophomore year in high school. I mean, that should never happen. You shouldn't have Tommy John in high school.
You shouldn't be. There's something wrong with the coach doing that.
Either that, or I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's a problem. Hey, you want to be able to see these guys pitch.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of pitching, how about a shout out to a guy that I thought was done, cooked, washed up, and ready to be DFA'd? Sean Jelly has performed well in his last 3 or 4 outings.
He has. Yes, he has.
Looking like a reliable reliever.
Yep.
He was throwing up to 96 today.
Wow.
Yeah, he's definitely he's worked on some stuff, and you could tell.
Yeah, so shout out to him. So tomorrow the Giants will go for
the series win.
Second series win in a row, which, you do put together 4 or 5 of those, it gets you really going. You better win tomorrow because you got the Dodgers coming in for 3 on Monday. By the way, you don't want to miss the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night Dodger post-game shows. There is going to be some fireworks. I tell you,
I thought it was only going to be on Wednesday.
It could be Monday too. What do you mean on Wednesday?
We'll talk after.
Yeah, we could have some fireworks Monday night. Be there. You're going to want to miss. There is there's an ocean storm coming. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to be. You won't want to miss it. You won't want to miss it. It could make. It could go viral. It could go viral. I'll say that. Anyway, tomorrow afternoon, it is a 1:00 game. So I think today's game wasn't it originally scheduled at 1. I looked at the schedule.
Honestly, I don't even know.
Tell me about it. Somebody put it on Twitter and showed up and said, I thought the game was at 1 today. And they took a picture of it empty outside at 3rd and King. I thought I saw it 1:00 2 or 3 days ago. I swear I did. I don't know when it changed or if I was just looking at the wrong thing the whole time. Tell me somebody saw the schedule today was supposed to be 1:00. Nick says the Giants need to hire him to run the minor leagues. I have no experience, but I'm guaranteed to be better than these dopes. I agree, Nick. I agree.
I think it's time to put some blame on Kyle Haynes too, because he's the director of player development, right?
Yes.
In the minor league. I mean, what's happening here? I mean, Farhan's the GM. He's the one bringing everybody in. And these guys just aren't producing in the minors. So I think some fire needs to touch Kyle Haynes' seat as well.
Yeah, we are going to make Nick, NorCal Sports Network officially appoints Nick and Cody from Even Year Dynasty Show as head of the minor leagues. We need more donations so that we can take over the Giants and just create a whole new.
We'll buy a part ownership stake.
And we will run the minor leagues. We'll put Nick and Cody down there, and we'll get this thing hopping. So we got the chant, Dodgers suck, Dodgers suck. That should go over well during this trip. I think the Dodgers will probably own the crowd.
They probably will. They'll probably it'll be full of blue.
Yep. Tyler says Giants need to hire another Brian Sabean or Ned. I agree. Dan versus Cy, round 3, starting Monday night. I don't think we're going to get that one. No. I'm not. Cy and I we're on good behavior.
Yeah, you guys have been doing well.
Yeah. Nick throws in another 5. I watch every game, and I can on the Bally app. Cody does good stuff too. And I'm not low on the players. Mostly I'm low on the development and strategy. Yes. Agree, Nick. The strategy, they do not appear to be anything special like some of the other guys you see in other organizations.
And it's not the greatest thing. I mean, you'd want these guys to be able to develop hitting, right? But I mean, some organizations, like I said before, are just better at doing things than other organizations. I mean, this organization is good at developing pitching. That's a fact. They can develop pitching. So what Farhan needs to do is trade these pitchers for hitters. You can't just expect to develop hitters when your hitting development program isn't good. You gotta make some moves.
It's Dan now taking gummies can smoke with Sia's friends. There we go. Claudia, that's right. We need to get Claudia on. Yes, make our room look a little nicer. So yeah, we need to bring Claudia Jestro back on the show. We'll probably see if I can get a hold of Claudia, and we'll bring her. I think we can bring her on one of these next 3 nights, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. But let's call it a night here, or a day. And tomorrow's Mother's Day. So if you're going to join us after the game, do so quickly, because if you wait too long, it may be over. Tomorrow's show will be
abbreviated.
I'm in the Reds tomorrow in the rubber match.
Wait, who's pitching for the Reds?
I'll give you that right now. The rubber match tomorrow is Kyle Harrison going for the Giants, and for Cincinnati, it's Frankie Montas.
What's his ERA?
3.55.
Not bad.
Yeah, all the Reds pitchers have had pretty good ERAs.
Yeah, they have.
It should be interesting. We'll see what the Giants lineup looks like. I got to believe it's going to be Harrison, Lee, and Ramos in the outfield.
Harrison, Lee?
Harris. Did I say Harris?
Harrison.
I meant Yaz. Yaz in right, Lee in center, and
Ramos in left.
Here, I'll give you the lineup tomorrow. Lee leading off, batting first. Estrada at batting second. Batting third will be Lamont Wade at first base. batting fourth. Now that he hit a grand slam, wouldn't shock me to see the Giants move Chapman up to fourth.
I could see Bailey hitting fourth too.
Yeah, and I don't like that, but I could see it.
If not, he'd probably bet fifth.
Yeah, you know what? Let's say Bailey does go 4. I bet you that could happen. 5. I liked Ramos in the 5 slot today. Probably Chapman 5.
Ramos 6.
We may see.
I think Schmidt's going to play tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Casey will be down there at short.
Casey will have to. Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Sable and just slow play Bailey back from a concussion.
Sable will be a DH.
I think Sable might be the DH. Yeah.
You could make Bailey the DH.
You could.
If you want to give Bailey a little bit more.
That's true. Yeah.
We'll see.
Do you think Bailey will be in the lineup though? No matter what, because if Sable catches Bailey, will
his
probably
power
be the
side
DH.
is the left side.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. They'll both be in the lineup, correct? So we'll see how it goes. But join us tomorrow, right after the Giants-Reds game. Most likely a 3:45
somewhere around there. Yeah.
start, between 3:45 and 4.
Yep.
And again, it'll be Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. We need some mothers to join us on our show. So probably not tomorrow, being at Mother's Day, but we don't have enough women. I know we got some mothers in here, but not the right kind of mothers. I'll just leave it at that. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Everybody have a great Saturday night. Thanks for joining. See ya.
Woo! See you later, you mother.